Unlocking illegal items in survival. Let's kick things off with this chest. Something feels off, right? In an old snapshot, if chests were placed over a chunk boundary, Minecraft would go haywire and cut the chest in half. If I really wanted that, I would have made a single chest myself. Thanks, Chunk Edge. Did you know you can glitch out the end sky? Simply place your bed next to the end portal, leave the end, and re-enter immediately. Now kick back, relax, and take in the amazing view. Imagine doing this with some crazy shaders. Now that gives me the chills. And talking of the end, gates are table items in survival, but more on that later. Besides that beautiful view, swimming in the air is pretty captivating too. To do this, swim against a ceiling closed and next to water end while holding jump. Nice way to freak out your friends, huh? It's safe to say Bedrock Edition has had the best bugs in Minecraft history, because years ago, you could duplicate the Ender Dragon. If you baited the Ender Dragon to pass through the end gateway, it would actually teleport to the outer end islands, and a new one would spawn. So technically, you could have your own army of Ender Dragons. What takes the cake for best glitches ever right besides Bedrock? In-dev Minecraft. Why? Because you could edit the spawn information and do some crazy stuff, like make the game freak out or giving yourself infinite health. Dude, we need in-dev back. This is too cool. Psst. You want to know a secret? You can get the end gate as an item. How? Spawn a wither on it and let it charge up and explode. Even better is the fact that you can use tons of these end gates to make soulfire farms. How? Let's talk about that in a bit. The second most cursed object after the end gateway is water. Wait, water? Yep, ghost water. I mean, this just looks wrong. To see this for yourself, put a fill flower pot, a glass block, and waterlogged flower pot. Next, break the glass block and you'll get yourself your own ghost water. But this only works on Bedrock, and you might look like you've lost your marbles playing with this since it's only visible to you. When exploring cities, you might see something unusual in the blocks around you. Sometimes double, triple, even quadruple shulkers can spawn at one position, which gives you a jackpot of shulker shells. Mojang should be spoiling us with similar bugs, but no, they gotta have half chests. And on a more comical note, if you summon a zombie villager and mark it as a baby using this command, it will still summon an adult zombie, but with crazy speed. I guess they don't lie when they say every adult has a child within them, huh? There's also a glitch where a villager gets a little too excited, but let's touch on that later. Remember the end gateways I was talking about? Drop gravity blocks into them and they'll come out as random items on the other side. Just imagine the possibilities of the blocks you get. You can use it to obtain items like end portal frames or barrier blocks in survival. All that needs is a little bit of our worst nightmare: patience. Did you know Minecraft used to exist in the 1990s? Just look at the gameplay from Minecraft 1994. Okay, I'm just messing with you. This is actually Minecraft 3D, which was an April Fool's joke in 2019 and was meant to be a take on a RuneScape-ish Minecraft. The backstory for this was that the best game in the world was found collecting dust in an office. Yeah, maybe Jeb should stay away from making up stories next time. Let's refresh ourselves from that horrible backstory with an amazing bug. All you need is a boat and a gravity block. Instead of sand or just boring stuff like that, just use an anvil. Voila! You have an infinite annoying sound generator. What's better than cursed sound? Cursed visuals. If you go to World Edge and use a piston trickery, you can add block formations, something like this. I would puke if I saw this in my own world, honestly. This happens because of some weird world boundaries glitching out. This one is pretty tragic, but in an old version of Minecraft, there was a morbid wolf glitch. If it had come out of water and you decided to murder the poor thing, it would do its water shaking off animation as it fell to the side. I hope you didn't know about this one. Since we're being a little sadistic, you'll love this glitch for traps. If you place an arrow on a trap door, it holds all sorts of damage around it, so you could explode lots of TNT right next to it, and the moment a player opened it, yeah, he should have let me complete my sentence. What if I told you respawning in hardcore was possible? I know for sure it could have saved those poor souls from sleepless nights. And personally, I would have loved to see Philza continue his hardcore world. All you need to do is enable cheats and switch back to survival, but sadly, it's been fixed now. I've got another villager glitch for you. If you have some wild luck, you can see villagers sleeping in a rather questionable position. Can you even tell where their legs are? Well, I'm sure they still get better sleep than me. You might have known that jumps can be extended with Elytra. You can actually abuse this and build up infinite momentum. It looks pretty ridiculous, but trust me, it's super fun. Staying on the topic of momentum, did you know that you can use your minecarts without any rails? Yeah, I'm not lying. If you build up enough speed, you can fly off the rails and the minecarts continue moving infinitely. Why build railways when you can just take advantage of this with a hint of cleverness? I think I should make a video on Minecraft hacks too. We talked about ghost water, but what about a ghost trampoline? If you place lily pads while also putting them in your offhand, hand. It'll seem like you're jumping on the water. And want another cheeky glitch? You can do the same thing with Elytra, and it'll look like you're in creative. Maybe it's time for the quickest server ban speedrun. Although you might want to be careful flying with this next one. If you use Riptide without an Elytra, say goodbye to any chance of surviving. This is because your fall damage stacks up, and regardless of how slowly you fall to the ground or the kind of armor you wear, you will most definitely die. Now let's look at the most cursed glitch on this entire list. Take a look at this stack of diamonds. Yep, you guessed it. There's a glitch that allows you to understack items. Looking at these stacks makes me feel like I'm committing a war crime. Plus, it's a pretty good way to give the devs over at Mojang a heart attack. But wait till they find out about the sniffer glitch we have later in the video. That'll sure send them into shock. You'll love this next one. Use a fishing rod to hook yourself to entities. Travel to the nether and then travel back. The line will be invisible and you can now pull any animal or activate any trap to your heart's content. And that's not even the best part. You can do this from an infinite distance. So whether you pull a TNT trap from miles away or from the house next door, the fishing rod glitch is sick. This bug is the most beautiful one you'll ever see. Sure, you might have known about stacking lightning on rods, but did you know that you could do the same with helmets? If you throw a channeling trident on a player's head wearing a helmet, it will stay there forever. If the player has infinite health, you can get infinite lightning. If you mine a block that can be instantly mined like torches, you'll also mine the block behind it and freeze the block breaking animation. Just make sure to hold the mining button for more than 1 second. Wow, that was a lot of saying and doing mining, but you get the idea. Blue iceways are a perfect way to travel at fast speeds. However, they take forever to build. So what if you could do it in a fraction of the time? If you place blue ice at the start of a highway and follow them by rails, you can create a magical highway. Now you can glide around no matter what block you place on rails. This has to be the second most useful glitch next to the shulker one. This next one is something only the truest veterans know. The particle textures while running or mining are actually a glitch. Originally, these effects were supposed to match the top surface of the block. However, Mojang made an oopsie. These effects began to match the bottom surface instead. Who needs April Fool's updates when Mojang does it for us in official updates anyways? Now, what if I told you there was a block that was never meant to exist in Minecraft? Actually, it was supposed to exist, but you get the point. This is a texture used by Mojang as a placeholder while they develop textures for new blocks, and looks pretty ridiculous on normal blocks. Time for my personal favorite, instant sniffer hatching. Use a redstone-powered sticky piston attached to a sniffer egg and let it run for 10 minutes. Now, I know this looks exactly like the villager enjoying himself, but trust the process. Once the egg hatches, the moss blocks are glitched, and you can use them to insta-hatch sniffer eggs. This is one of the coolest glitches ever.